Alright, I'm gonna talk a little bit about stand your ground laws and stuff. Simply because I just read on Facebook that there's more hoopla about repealing them. Um, what it is, first off, is the whole misleading title that a lot of anti-gun groups will give them is shoot first laws. And how they, make it to where you can just shoot somebody for whatever reason. None of that is any truth. Okay? The parameters of using lethal force is exactly the same as before. Okay? The only thing that a stand your ground law states is that now you can do it outside of your home or property. Okay? That's all it does. And what that basically states is, let me get my list up right here. This is from findlaw.com. I'm going to put a link down there at the bottom. Is in Arkansas, Connecticut, Delaware, Hawaii, Iowa, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Missouri, Minnesota, Nebraska, New Jersey, New York, North Dakota, Ohio, Rhode Island, Wisconsin, and Wyoming do not have standard law grounds. What that means is, let me use my knife here. If you're walking down a street and a bad person comes up with a knife and is going to say, I'm going to kill you, you under the law have to run away. If you're walking down the street and you see bad guys stabbing somebody, you have to run away. Now, in other states, such as Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Florida, Georgia, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Michigan, Mississippi, Montana, Nevada, New Hampshire, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, West Virginia, you have the legal right to stop that. You do not have to flee. Now, why this is important? Well, it comes down to this. If the anti-gun group wants to call stand your ground laws shoot first laws, then we should be able to call anti-stand your ground laws criminal protection laws, because that's what they're doing. Um, you're now placing a criminal's life above mine. Now, I'm not actually saying that the law enables, okay, but the law protects. If I'm walking down the street and somebody's going to kill me, as long as I can leave, I have to leave. Now, he or her, the criminal, does not care about the law, okay? So, what's to stop them from chasing me? And now I have to flee. Now, let's say this person that's going to kill me used to be a track star. And I'm 285 pounds, I smoke 13 packs a day, I'm extremely out of shape, I'm in a wheelchair, I'm old, I don't have the physical ability to run anymore due to old age, due to disease, due to sickness, due to whatever. This law is basically saying you're going to die and we're not going to help you. Okay, just imagine that. Imagine a person who, you know what, I'm going to imagine a 75-year-old combat veteran. Person who has the Medal of Honor around their neck, chest full of medals, been in 4 or 5 different armed conflicts, been shot 2 or 3 times, been a POW, and now they've gotten that point in age where they're just old. Their body's failing them. They have to use a walker. And they're going down the street to go donate money to starving children. And some punk wants to mug them. Pulls a knife on them. Now their mind still tells them, screw you, and they end up getting stabbed to death. The police come by and they find a .44 Magnum on his hip. on their hip. But they couldn't use that gun because the law states you have to run away first. I mean, I know that's a little bit exaggerative because I'm sure somewhere in the law it states that, physical disability will exclude that or what have you. But still, it's the point, is no one should flee from crime. I'm a firm believer in this, and this is why I support, 100% support, stand your ground law. Simply this. Criminals should fear the police. Criminals should also fear civilians. Because once you decide to commit a crime, I should have every right to stop you. I should not be hindered by the law. I am trying to enforce the law. I am trying to uphold the law. I am trying to stop the crime. Why is it that I cannot do that? I mean, I understand the whole vigilante thing, but there's a difference between vigilantism and just being there when it happens. If I go into a convenience store and I'm buying a bag of chips and somebody decides to come in and rob the store, that was their decision. Okay? Now, if I'm walking down the street and I see a robbery and I go into that store, now I'm making that decision. Okay? I also believe that should be okay because, tactically not the smartest in the world, but I believe legally it should be fine. That's my opinion. Because I believe that criminals should fear the citizens. Excuse me. I mean, that's the thing. Let's say there's 100 people in a community, and 5 are cops, and 5 are criminals. Okay? That's 90% of the population that is neither a cop nor criminal. Okay? Now, if that population is armed, if that population, let's say another 10%, 10 people, if 10 people in that community of 100 are armed, if that 10 has the full backing of the police to stand up to crime whenever it happens around them, now instead of just those 10 cops, now they've got 10 more, or those 5 cops, they got 10 more. That's 15% of the population that they have to worry about. And to make things even better, they can't identify that 10% of armed civilians because they could be anything. And that to me, that's the beauty. That's why, like, let me use here in Indiana. Indiana, we have pretty good gun laws. I can legally carry my sidearm pretty much wherever I want. Okay. There's a few places off limits, but but I can carry into a restaurant. I can carry into a bar. I can carry into a church as long as it doesn't have a school on the premises. I can carry in a park. I can carry in a store. It doesn't matter. So when those criminals are out, and the idea, let's do a robbery, let's go kill this person, let's rape that person. One of the things that has to be floating around, if they're even remotely intelligent, has to be floating around in there is, man, I need to watch out for the cops. And then secondly, wait, I'm in Indiana, where you're allowed to carry concealed, you're allowed to carry open. How many people around here are carrying guns that are going to be willing to shoot me before I try and kill this person? You just added a whole nother group of people that they have to fear. Now, if the law states that you cannot use lethal force against me as a criminal, why should I be afraid of you if I'm not in your house? And that's why I believe that anti-standard ground laws should be called criminal protection laws. That's exactly what they're doing.